Hi, Dr. Karen Can here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And the big news for the past week is all about the three big fields of Mother Earth and how aligned we are to her fields. So I got this information from my good friend Kathy Homeyer, another energy healer, and she's always teaching me new things, and I love this about her. So the three big fields is the equator of the Mother Earth, the axis, like just down the center of her, and then the magnetic poles. And supposedly, our physical bodies as humans, when we are aligned with her three big fields, we do the best. We actually are healthier. So supposedly these three big fields intersect at 90 degrees at the level of the heart. Now, when I did some muscle testing, I thought that the equator was the diamond meridian, which is around the hip area. And although that connects to the heart through other meridians, it's not directly there. So, that's what I thought it was. Anyway, but our heart line, where that connects to all of our chakras or energy centers, that definitely is the axis. And the magnetic poles, what answer I was getting from source, and it could be wrong, but has to do with the fascial fluid, because that is in some ways electromagnetic as well. So when our fields are aligned with Mother Earth, we do best. But here's the thing. So last week I was not skating well, and I have, whatever it was, 5 weeks till adult nationals, and have, for me, ambitious, 2 programs, haven't competed in about 8 years. So I am feeling like last week, like my legs were not really like working the way I wanted them to. So performance wasn't so great. And I thought, wow, okay, good thing I have another 4 weeks to go. But I knew something was off, but I wasn't sure until Kathy told me about this. And I did check, and sure enough, one of my fields was not aligned with Mother Earth. So I thought, well, that's easy. I'll just realign it, right? So we just do tolpakan healing, realign, there we go. But I was still feeling off and on. And then I checked again, and I wasn't aligned again. And I thought, again? That's odd. So usually I like to ask more questions, check out the tolpakan healing guide, see if there's anything else I need to, either positive morphic fields that I need, or maybe, negative energies. Here's guide 1, negative energies that maybe I need to clear. And there wasn't much. The guide team's like, nah, you don't need to know, or at least the way I asked it. Do I need to know more? No. So then I realign myself again. And sure enough, it goes off again. And I thought, I don't get it. Normally, there is a whole bunch of things that I need to figure out in order to realign it. But I kept getting, no, I don't need to know more. So thanks to one of our VIPs, she said to me, well, gee, oh, wait. Oh, no, actually, that's a little later. I just remembered. Okay, so thanks to her too. But first of all, the first thank you goes to my dog Apache. So I skated Monday, Wednesday. So Thursday we're going for skating. I'm thinking this has not been a great week for skating because I just felt a little off. And Apache, my little dog, actually jumps on this little speaker thing that we have to say goodbye to us as we exit the door, and he jumps on there like he normally does and spazzes out, like he just spazzes out, like, and I was like, whoa, okay, dog spazzing out. Okay, that means something else bigger is going on. So I checked, and he was not aligned to Mother Earth's big fields, and so I thought, well, gee, if this is just not happening to me and this happened to Apache as well, maybe I need to support Mother Earth. So I did do a little checkup and found that Mother Earth, her three big fields were shifting with ascension and with these new energies, and very, very quickly, which is why we kept trying to catch up to align with her, but that the three big fields were not balanced. So a balance is a great word to ask because the universe knows what that means. You might not know what it means, but usually it's a good thing. So I asked how balanced was Mother Earth's three big fields. I got 30%, something like that. So I thought, oh, gee, I can do healing on that. So I did some healing on Mother Earth's three big fields, and voila, I was able to align mine with hers, and it stayed aligned for the most part. And same thing with Apache. And I did that for my husband as well. He was, that day at skating, after I did the alignment with Mother Earth, he was like, oh, wow, I feel really off today. Like, I'm not, like, able to be balanced. And I said, oh, let me check your alignment. So I realigned him and he was able to skate his program with ease. So that was awesome. And this week has definitely been better. I'm definitely skating much better. Like my muscles seem to like know what they're doing. It's like my nervous system was like, okay, we can fire now. We kind of get it. So if you felt a little off, that could be why. And the most common symptoms, and I wrote these down, the most common symptoms besides feeling, a little off balance is palpitations. Now that could be either because you're misaligned to Mother Earth or that you are realigning to Mother Earth. So you can have symptoms either way, heart flutters, that kind of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of shifting going on. So if you're having heart issues and it's not a physical issue, that's probably what it was in the last week or so. The other symptom has been stuff related to the upper body. So some people feel like a knot in the back of their thoracic spine, or their chest feeling constricted. And again, as we're realigning these, either if you're not aligned or you're just realigning, you can have temporary symptoms. So people are feeling tension in the neck. The muscles are being very, very tight, sometimes headache because of the tension in the neck. And even flu symptoms are related to the misalignment. So it's not to say that you have the flu necessarily, but you can have flu-like symptoms when, the three big fields are off, or vice versa, when you're just starting to be realigned. Some people have not been aligned for ages, and they probably wouldn't be able to tell unless they're, a figure skater or something like me, somebody like me who can tell, that I'm not on. So that's the huge news. And one of the VIP, Marianne, had posted in our Facebook group, hey, did you check out Mother Earth's three big fields and all of their timelines? And I thought, no, I did not. Okay. So we went and did a healing as well. Now, do you need to align with Mother's three big fields and other timelines if you're not human? Probably not. But what's really interesting is, of course, when we do the healing, we ask whatever's for the highest and greatest good. So if it's not for your highest and greatest good to align with Mother's three big fields and yet another, universe or something like that, then you won't. Okay, because maybe you're from another planet and you need to align to the fields in that planet, So what was really interesting, which is not an issue at all right now because we've corrected it, and it's kind of assumed that it's going to correct when you correct the three big fields, is that our microbiome, so those probiotics that live in our gut, all those trillions and trillions of cells, all those different organisms, they also need to be aligned with the three big fields of Mother Earth. So if you check that your microbiome is not balanced, or your microbiome is not aligned to the three big fields, go ahead and you can just do a tolpakan healing directive to realign yourself and the microbiome to the three big fields. But generally now, because we've discovered that issue, then whenever you just ask to be aligned to three big fields, that will often include your microbiome. Now, Kathy's doing some tinctures that she's making with the three big field aligner. She has a program that she's doing that with, and you can also, if you have Ascension 2, you can also program your water that you drink with that intention is, please align me to Mother's three big fields in the highest and best way. And then, you play Ascension 2 and you go ahead and charge your water. Because Ascension 2, remember, is sort of like your magic wand, so you need to ask it to do something, or you don't need to, but it's better, more specific if you ask for what you want it to do. So because that's an intention-based MP3 healing program, unlike some of the other ones that are pre-programmed with certain healings. So the microbiome, interestingly. So there is something else I discovered, which is very, very interesting. I feel like I'm in a movie somewhat. There is, some of us have been tired, over the last week or so. And there's several main reasons. One of the biggest ones is being locked up in parasympathetic nervous system mode. Now, what is that? Well, that's your relaxation mode. Now, normally that's pretty good to be able to get to relaxation mode. The opposite of that, of course, is fight and flight, right? So that's stress mode. Most people know what that's like. When they get locked into that, they can't sleep. They're like, maybe they've got palpitations. They feel anxious, panicky. They're on alert. You're like got nervous energy. So that's fight or flight. Now, parasympathetic is a relaxation mode, which is kind of like the opposite. So I know when I've gone into parasympathetic healing mode, when my body just feels like, just relaxing, watching a movie. I'll usually watch more movies or, Netflix, TV or something like that, or read a book, but my body doesn't really want to do anything. So, so definitely, even though I was skating better this week, I could have just sat there and ate bonbons, or something like that. But I was like, no, I'm going skating. I'm training, and it all went well. But when you're locked in parasympathetic, that means you can't get out of that, and that means that you can't get your energy up to be awake to do stuff. Fascinatingly, I don't know about you, but I definitely had lots of regular energy mentally, but physically, I was like, I just want to relax. I even went to bed early for me is before midnight, And I thought, okay, after about the third day or fourth day of this, I thought, okay, let me investigate what's going on, because other people, were mentioning it as well. So we were locked in parasympathetic mode, and what I got was Mother Earth was her healing powers were amplifying. Our healing powers were amplifying, not specifically tolpakan healing powers, but healing powers in general. And so this was putting us in this parasympathetic phase, but that there was some sort of an adjustment that needed to happen to kind of make this a little quicker, and that was in our dimensional fascia. So what is that? Well, think of it as connective tissue connecting all your interdimensional portals. You have dimensional anatomy, I've discovered, and the interdimensional portals go actually on the CV and GV governing vessel and conception vessel meridians, and basically the energy, the network that connects all of these together is what I call the dimensional fascia. And interestingly, each of us are connected to each other through this dimensional fascia. I'm not really sure if it's part of dark matter or what, but there needed to be an upgrade, adjustment, evolution of this dimensional fascia, this communication dimensionally. So I went ahead and healed that or got that going, and then I was able to kind of snap out of that parasympathetic mostly. So some of you, I did a global healing on our light warrior, so some of you may have noticed that shift by Wednesday, because I did it Tuesday night, and by Wednesday feeling a little bit more energy, and I hope that you did. But back to the microbiome, in the middle of checking this out, I found out that there's about 9% of us light warrior types that actually have organisms in our blood that are not necessarily bad, that they're not like negative viruses or fungus, mold, bacteria, but they are an alien species that when I talk about microbiome, they do register as a yes, meaning that they are supposed to be part of us, but not everyone. So those of us that are light beings now in a human body, there's a higher degree of chance that you actually have these alien organisms as well in you, and they are what I call symbiotes, or they basically are a symbiotic organism. We help them, they help us. I'm not really sure how we help them exactly, except that we help them with their evolution somehow, but they help us as well with our evolution. And I think that's pretty interesting. And when I was asking this, I was thinking of Star Wars, because the newer films talk about metachlorians, I believe, which are like organisms that those that have the Force very strong, the Jedi Knights, etc., that these tiny alien species tend to be more in their bodies than those that do not have that amount of force or are able to manipulate the force that easily. So I think that's an interesting corollary, an interesting correlation between the starseed light beings that are now human, having a greater number of percentage of those with these organisms, and they're like, I see them as little light organisms. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty interesting. So there may be more about that. Now, we did help them because there was something that they needed to help with an evolution. So it's like they help us, we help them. So we did a correction as well there. So you may or may not have felt that. I don't really know because I didn't really have a symptom necessarily to hang my hat on and say that's, you know, was a symptom that them being unhappy. And even if I did, I probably would have forgotten because I often do all these healings on myself right before going to bed. And then I think to myself, I should write this down. And then I don't because I'm like, it's dark. I don't want to get up and turn the light on and write it down. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to remember. And then the morning, yeah, I don't really remember. So I apologize that some of the details are a little sketchy sometimes because I can't remember exactly what I did, but I knew it was profound and it was important. And it definitely made a difference for me. So hopefully it did for you. The last thing I want to share with you about the news for this week is that, you know, a lot of people are having flu and flu-like symptoms. And I thought maybe it was all from the 3 big aligners or misaligners to Mother Earth, but there was a significant number of people with an actual virus. Yes, a real physical virus, and you're like, duh, right? But what was really interesting was I was asking Source, why do you need me to know this? Like, what's the big whoop, you know? So it's a virus, but it's an interesting virus. This particular virus is, you're more susceptible to this virus if you have emotional and energetic toxins and debris that has not been cleared out. So what's debris? Well, debris is sort of like if you cleared your closet, you got to take everything out and you vacuum the whole closet and the closet's clean, right? But there might be a pile of dust on the floor after you've cleaned the closet, and then you got to go vacuum that up. So after you do healing work, sometimes there is debris, and that could be mental debris, energetic, emotional, dimensional, spiritual debris. It really isn't something, but it's not nothing either. So just like, you know, putting the extra dust in the dustbin and in the trash, you do have to get rid of it. Now, physical debris is well known and documented. In other words, for example, if you are healing from a fungal infection, those fungal cells, as they die, often, sometimes we can do it differently, but when they die, they burst open and they spill their contents, you know, in the lymphatic or bloodstream as they die, and then these toxins are registered. The body is inflammatory, and the body has this response. So then the white blood cells come and they clean it up. It's called autophagy, and you can actually imagine that any physical debris, you know, that is from the healing process, be eaten up and dissolved quickly. So you can go ahead and ask Ascension 1, or you can just do a tolpakan directive and just command that all debris, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, dimensional, and any that you did not mention yet, be dissolved and uncreated in you and all timelines where you exist in the highest and best way. And just, you know, ask your God team to keep it up, because some of us are doing very, very fast healing, and some old stuff is healing quickly. So there can be a backlog of some of this debris. And so if you have a backlog of this emotional or energetic debris, that can definitely contribute to your susceptibility to this particular virus. But then you can go ahead and neutralize the virus, neutralize the debris, so you're not susceptible anymore. And some people are noticing they're tired because of energetic infections. So that's the other thing. You may just want to check in and say, hey, you know, do your divine muscle testing. Do I have any form of energetic infections? And you don't even have to know what it is. But you're like, oh, if you get a yes, and you can go ahead and dissolve and uncreate that, and then check again to make sure that it's done. And if it's not done, then you may have to learn why it's not being corrected yet. So you may have to go to, if you have the Tolpakan healing guides or the level 1 training, figure out what it is that Source wants you to know before that can be completely cleared. Yeah. So a couple of announcements. All right. So on Monday, which is the 12th. Let me just double check my schedule here, make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Okay, so yes. All right, here we go. So on the 12th, yes, I'm doing a radio show, and this radio show is going to be a mini healing radio show. And this time we are going to be working on sleep. Sleep. My sleep has not been perfect lately. I haven't actually delved in and figured out exactly why. It's not bad, but it could be better. But there's a lot of people, especially sensitive people, with issues with sleep right now. And we're going to preview a couple of things so that you can learn. We're going to preview our Light Warrior Revolution training this month. So Light Warrior Revolution is a monthly training that I do in great detail. So we do a video training on this, and I show you how to do tolpakan healing assessments on particular symptoms. In this case, this month, it's going to be on insomnia and sleep trouble. And there's a whole way in which you can approach this, and it's really the art of the ask, or the how you ask your questions of source and divine, which is can be extremely enlightening. So there's a whole approach that I'm going to show you in the Light Warrior Revolution, how to approach sleep problems. And if you are an energy healer or a health practitioner, you do divine muscle testing, heal yourself, then this is no-brainer for you to definitely join us at the Light Warrior Revolution. And we'll put the links below, but it's basically karenkan.com/LWR. So it's perfect for people who've already, done some tolpakan healing, are familiar with muscle testing. Maybe you've already taken my tolpakan level 1 healing. If not, then it is included in the annual membership, the level 1 training, as well as all the guides. And these get updated on a regular basis based on what's happening now in the world. So about every 1 to 2 to 3 months, they get updated. And yeah, so we're going to do a preview of that. So we'll be looking for people to volunteer on the live radio show to get mini readings and healings on their issue with insomnia. Of course, we're not going to be able to address it in great detail, but that's what the training's for, to give you all that detail. And then later in the month, we'll also be taking live callers in our Q&A. So with the Light Warrior Revolution, you get a video training, you get downloadable PDF handouts, and then each month you get one Q&A as well, so that we could show you live how to actually do these assessments on people. So if you're interested, join us at the Light Warrior Revolution. So we're going to do that on Monday at 12 noon, the radio show, just to preview the topic for this month. So I think every month we might actually do that, is preview the topic, so you know kind of what we're dealing with. And that's an idea anyway for our healing show for the month, unless we have a healing guest and healing energy healer guest. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Then we might change up the program a little bit. And of course, the other big news, almost forgot, is that in September, I have the Supercharge Your Healing Powers event at my friend Kathy Homeyer's Lake Clear Lodge and Resort. And it's a beautiful place in the Adirondack Park. It's got trees and the lake with the amazing vortex. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you, hopefully there live in person. Yes, in person. We can actually hug, touch each other and hug at the event. So I'm super, super, super excited. It's going to be an event where we're going to do some tolpakan healing training for sure, working on not only your intuitive gifts and reading gifts, but also your sending in healing gifts as well. And is it appropriate for beginners, people that are interested in energy healing but have never done it? Absolutely, it is. So the website to go to is karenkan.com/supercharge, and that will have all the information you need. We have a super early bird special that goes through April 15th, so a single ticket for the entire weekend, so that's all of Friday, all of Saturday, all of Sunday, is $97. Okay, call me crazy, but anyway, so it's $97. We want as many people to come as possible, and even better, once you register later on, we are going to be sharing a 50% coupon for friends and family as well in about a week or so. We just have to get a little organized. I have to get a little organized to get all that done. Kathy and I did a Facebook Live on Wednesday. You can check that out on our Light Warrior Network and Light Warrior Support Group Facebook pages, answering questions about what kind of rooms there are, what kind of meals and accommodations, what's the schedule like, where do you fly into, if you're coming from far away and not driving, all those kind of questions are answered there as well. But you can always drop us a line. So I really would love to see you at that event, and it's going to be very interactive. This year, no PowerPoint slides, at least not for me. Very interactive. You're going to be doing the work as you know, as well as enjoying this amazing nature around us. So I'm so hoping that you will come. And if you are a Light Warrior VIP, or if you have Unlock Your Superpowers Package C, you actually have free ticket to go. So no brainer. If you can make it, we would love to have you. I'm so looking forward to that. So I have rambled on for 25 minutes, so I'm going to say goodbye right now. But just you know, just be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself. Just realize that, you know, sometimes we're tired, sometimes we have symptoms. It's not a big deal. A lot of times it's like curiosity, what's going on? This is really interesting. You know, why are we experiencing this? And just realize that some of it isn't your stuff. Some of it is like global stuff, and it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be stressful for you. It's all about the attitude. Lots of love, and let's see you on the Light Warrior Network at Facebook. So just check Light Warrior Network on Facebook, and just click to apply to be part of that closed group, and we'd love to have you. All right, bye for now. Lots of love.